Este es Aaron Coney de enacomputers.com. Otro video para ti hoy. Uy, ve another printer problemo. Let's cut to the chase quickly. I don't want to make this video too long. My Canon Pixma MG6320 printer will not print. It has a code that says printer is not responding even though it is directly plugged into my computer. This individual was using a Macintosh computer, but I don't know what exact operating system. Here's a tip. You should always know the exact operating system that you're using. Whether it's Macintosh, Mojave 10.14, High Sierra 10.13, Sierra 10.12, El Capitan 10.11. You should always know what version number and operating system you're using. This error was occurring on the Macintosh itself. When it comes to printer troubleshooting or any computer question that I attempt on this third-party website where I earn supplemental income answering computer and technology related questions, I always read the questions in advance, and if I think I cannot solve them, I don't fucking waste time. A common question that I like to ask or I like to read: is the error on the computer or on the printer? If the error is on the printer, usually I move along, nothing to see here, move along. I don't waste time. If the error is on the computer, that tells me it could be a problem with the printer software or it could be a problem with the operating system, something that I can fix. The error code showed up on their Macintosh. So here's what fixed this problem: removing the software and reinstalling it. On Macintosh, you go to the dock down below. There's a dock. Click on Finder, which is the two-faced icon. It's a blue and white icon. The very left icon on your left, on the very left, the first icon on the left, you'll see the two-faced. That's apropos for Apple computer. Anyways, they're two-faced and they are rotten to the core. I mean, I digress back. That opens Finder, which is self-explanatory. Click on Applications. Then you want to go into the Canon folder and see if there's a removal tool. You're better off using the uninstaller or the removal tool that will properly remove the Canon software from your Macintosh. If you cannot find one, or it doesn't work, or it just doesn't exist, another way on Macintosh to remove the software is to drag it to the trash can. Now here's a bonus tip. I found out this weird quirk on Macintosh one time. I either investigated it because I was having a problem, or I just tested it on the fly. No pun intended. Thankfully, there's not that many flies in here anymore, but there's these little motherfuckers. I think they're fruit flies or gnats. They're really annoying. There's a few of those around, but I've gotten rid of most of them. Anyways, I digress back. If you have to manually remove the software from Macintosh and drag it to the trash can, and you still have the same error or you still have the same problem, Macintosh operating system is weird. It still sees the software, because it's still technically on your computer, but it's in the trash. So what you would do is you would empty the trash. I'm not making this shit up. I think it was a printer problem. The software, I was like, what the fuck? I removed the software, I dragged it to the trash can, and then I think I did an internet search, and one tip was to empty the trash, and I tried it. And then all of a sudden, the printer problem went away. I was like, what the, you know what I'm saying? I was like, what the fuck? It was bizarre. All right, so that's my additional tip. Now you want to go to printers and scanners. On a Macintosh, you use Finder, or you can also use System Properties down on the dock. Towards the right-hand side, there's a gear icon. There's a gray gear icon. Click on that. That'll take you to System Properties. Click on Printers and Scanners. Then look for the Canon Pixma MG6320. In the list, click on the printer to highlight it, click on the minus sign to remove it. So on Macintosh, That's how you remove a printer. You click on the minus sign. If you wanted to add the printer or add a printer, you click on plus, but obviously you don't want to in this scenario. And then it'll disappear, and that's how you properly remove software on a Macintosh printer software and also the printer. Click on the link in the description box below that'll take you to my website, ainitcomputers.com, where I will have a blog post with the direct link so that you can download and reinstall the Canon printer software. I haven't written the blog post yet, but I will get to it later today. This is where it would help if you knew the exact operating system that you're using. There's a difference between Mojave 10.14 and El Capa 10.11 and Sierra 10.12, High Sierra 10.13, especially when it comes to peripherals, because they all will have a separate download. You know what I'm saying? But I will provide a link that will automatically detect your printer, and then I will tell you what software to look for. So you want to download, a lot of times on Canon, I think it would be called the full printer and software, whatever the fuck. Look for something that says full, or in the description, look where it says full software for your, including driver. You want the full suite of software, and you also want the driver. So you would download that to your Macintosh, double click it, the setup or whatever, and then it will install. And then do not excuse me, do not connect your printer yet. Don't do it. Wait until you are prompted. Once it prompts you, connect it via universal serial bus cable or wireless or Ethernet. Hopefully it will detect your Canon, and that's what solved this problem. That was the fix right there. And Mac and crap, no, Macintosh operating system is not perfect. A lot of times printer software will just become corrupt just out of the blue, or a Macintosh update will fuck up your printer, or an upgrade. If you're upgrading from, let's say, El Cap, whatever, High Sierra 10.13 to Mojave 10.14, that is it's not habitual, but it does occur once in a while. No, Mac and crap is not perfect. If any, I know the YouTube technology shills, some of them are pathological liars. They give you terrible advice. If they tell you that Macintosh is perfect and you'll never ever have problems, they're liars. They're lying to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was. That's what solved the problem. Removing the software, removing the printer from printers and scanners, and then downloading and reinstalling the software. And then it started working again. And I got paid. Here's some bonus tips, some overtime. You can leave now. You probably already left. I don't give a fuck. I don't care how long you watch. I don't care about subscribers, and so whatever. Here's some bonus tips, overtime. I did not include in this, but I will give it to you for free. There's some idiot or moron back here in the alleyway. I don't know what the fuck it is with this alleyway, but it is obnoxious at times. There's a building across the way, and their maintenance people just are working, and it's like, why? It's a commercial building. How much maintenance does it require? It's what, do they blow shit up so that they have a paycheck? I don't know, man. I don't know. But I may get interrupted, but hopefully I won't. Another way you can troubleshoot printer problems that's not that difficult is, first you want to find out if the problem error is on the computer or on the printer. If the error, sometimes there are error codes like Canon B200 or blah blah, that's an entirely different monster. Most likely that means that the printer is having problems, and these inkjet printers, a lot of them are garbage. So you know what I'm saying. Here's an additional tip. You may want to purchase a laser jet instead. Laser jets are usually more likely longer lasting. It just depends on the model, it depends on the manufacturer, it depends on the brand. You could probably get a used laser jet for $200 or $300. They're more reliable normally, but not always. Another possible way to fix your printer problem that's not that difficult: disconnect the power cable from the wall outlet to your printer, power off the printer, then disconnect the power cable from the wall outlet, press and hold the power button for 60 seconds, disconnect the universal serial bus cable square end from the printer, disconnect the flat end of the USB cable from the Macintosh, then leave the printer alone for 5 to 10 minutes and come back, and then power back on, give it some time to initialize, and then see if you can print now. A lot of times, I don't know what the percentages are, it's not the majority, it's not over 50%, but it's quite often. That will fix the problem. And then also removing the software and then reinstalling it, a lot of times that fixes problems. And those two tips or those two troubleshooting steps are not that difficult. It's not rocket science, you know what I'm saying? Anything further? I don't want to make this video any longer. And when it comes to printers, I hate them. The only time I troubleshoot them is if I know that it's a problem on the computer, the driver or the operating system. Now, these tips were recorded for a Canon Pixma 6320, MG6320. However, as general tips, you can use them for any printer brand and manufacturer and really any operating system, including Windows, although I'm not going to digress. On Windows, there's a different process on how to completely remove a printer from Windows. On my YouTube channel, look for a video probably titled "How to Remove a Printer in Windows 10." Watch that video. I go through the 3 major areas where and then I even show you how to manually remove the driver. On Macintosh, once you click the minus sign and you remove the printer from printers and scanners, I think that removes the printer driver. I could be wrong. I don't know if there's a way. Macintosh has a terminal. It uses BSD. There's probably a manual way where with the command line you might be able to remove a printer driver, but I just don't know. But I've never really had that many problems. Usually with my end users, if they follow my instructions and they remove the printer from printers and scanners using the minus sign and it's gone, and they also remove the software correctly, either with the removal or the uninstall, or they dragged it to the trash can but they emptied the trash can, they usually don't have problems reinstalling the software and then getting the printer to work again. I think I'm done. I don't want to go any further. And there could be, I don't know. Usually that solves the problem on both Windows and Mac, but not always. Try it. Try the power cycling. Try it. It could be electrostatic discharge, or it could be printers are electronic devices, and they're not perfect. So they might be powered on, and they seem like they're working and functioning normal. No, that might not be the case. What else could you may have to reinstall the operating system. What you could do is you could have a second computer, like in this case. There's some idiot and moron back here in the fucking alleyway being loud. As a process of elimination, you could take a second Macintosh computer and then install the Canon Pixma MG6320 software and see if it works. If it works just fine, no problems, just bam, it prints, well then obviously your Macintosh, the other Macintosh, is having problems. And remove it the way I told you how to remove it. If that doesn't work, you may have to reinstall the operating system. Or, well, what you could do is, if it's a Mac, I don't want, their Macintosh are very difficult, if not impossible, to roll back updates and roll back the operating system. So I hate to tell you, unless I could be wrong, I just don't know because I don't own a Macintosh. I do support Macintosh, but on Windows there is a way to manually remove the driver. On Windows, a lot of times it is the printer driver that becomes corrupt, and that's why you want to manually remove it using the print UI command. On Macintosh, I just don't know. I'd have to study that. I don't know if there's a way to manually remove the driver. But fundamentally, that is what a lot of times that is what the problem is. Either the software became corrupt or the driver became corrupt. Apple Computer Corporation, corrupt to the core. Just like these motherfuckers that in the morning just are loud. And I noticed this pattern, and it's starting to drive me insane. I mean, no, I'm just joking. Adios. It does piss me off at times, though. Adios.